if the season ended today, who would the Indiana Fever draw? And I think it's a good draw, frankly. I think it's a team that they could get past. All right. I wouldn't love the Lynx or the Liberty. Anybody else, as long as Caitlin Clark is playing, I think they got a shot. I think they got a shot. Frankly, they got a shot against the other two teams too if Caitlin is back. My issue.
ESPN recently unveiled their annual ranking of the top 25 WNBA players under 25 years old, with several noteworthy developments for Indiana Fever fans. The list features two Fever players positioned ahead of Angel Reese, highlighting the franchise's young talent depth. Caitlin Clark secured the top position on the rankings despite injury setbacks that limited her to just 13 games this season. This reduced playing time has created disappointment considering preseason expectations included 4 additional games on the schedule. Clark's statistical performance during her available games shows averages of 16.5 points, 8.8 assists, and 5 rebounds per game. The assist average represents a significantly undervalued aspect of Clark's elite performance.
They got a shot against the other two teams too if Caitlin is back. My issue is Stephanie White. That would be my number one issue, and I'm afraid long term we're going to find out. We're going to F around and find out as a fan base about her deficiencies in the biggest games in the biggest spots. So right here, this is ESPN's list. Let's check out what they said about Caitlin Clark. Due to injuries, she has been.
Her direct involvement in scoring plays extends far beyond personal point totals, with her 8.8 assists translating to approximately 9 scoring opportunities for teammates. This contribution means Clark influences roughly 25 points per game through combined scoring and playmaking. Had injuries not intervened, projections suggested she could have averaged 20 points and potentially 10 assists per game while maintaining her 5-rebound output at 6 feet tall. ESPN's analysis emphasizes Clark's transformative court presence when healthy. Her shooting range extends the floor spacing dramatically, while her pace-pushing mentality and defensive manipulation through passing create unmatched excitement levels during game action. At 23 years old, Clark brings a unique energy factor that distinguishes her from other players.
Yeah, what they said about Caitlin Clark. Due to injuries, she has been limited to 13 games this season. Wow. God, this season has turned out to be so deflating, so disappointing. 13 games. And I was thinking before the season, I was like, damn, we got 4 extra games. Shit. Okay. Due to injuries, she's been limited to 13 games this season, averaging 16.5 points, 8.8 assists, and 5 rebounds. Guys, I got to tell you, the 8.
Paige Beckers claimed the second position on the list, followed by Aaliyah Boston in third place. Early season performance suggested Boston deserved consideration among the top MVP candidates through approximately 10-12 games, and recent contests have shown improved play. However, concerns exist regarding Boston's aggressive approach on court. Despite standing 6'5", her playing style sometimes appears too passive and methodical. Both Boston and Camila Cardoso share similar developmental needs, requiring more dominant performances given their physical advantages. Enhanced aggression and defensive intensity could elevate both players significantly.
Tell you, the 8.8 assist, I think, is the largest, most overlooked part of Caitlin Clark's elite game. All right? That you want to talk about how many points is that she is responsible for a game right there, 16.5, and then 8.8, let's just call it 9 assists. She's directly involved in about 25 points a game, at least.
A persistent issue affecting Boston and Angel Reese involves missed layup opportunities, with Reese potentially converting more close-range shots than Boston over recent games. Boston's career-best 15.2 points per game ranks 4th among players under 25, while her 54.6% shooting efficiency places 3rd in the same category. She established a franchise record with 15 double-doubles this season, ranking 4th league-wide. Her facilitating abilities show particular strength when paired with Clark, creating what many consider the most dangerous pick-and-roll combination in professional basketball. Angel Reese earned inclusion on the rankings with notable improvements in playmaking, averaging 3.7 assists per game.
At least that's that. And to be honest with you, I think if she'd have been healthy, she just averaged 20 points a game this year. And I'm not too sure she wouldn't average 10 assists. And then 5 boards at 6 foot tall. When healthy, Clark's impact is enormous. She stretches the floor with her shooting range, pushes the pace, and picks defenses apart with her passing. The 23-year-old brings an unmatched excitement factor every time.
This marks the top 5 among all forwards and leads WNBA players under 25. Her league-leading 12.2 rebounds in just 25 games helped her tie the rookie record as the fastest player in WNBA history to reach 300 rebounds in a single season. Despite rebounding excellence, Reese continues struggling with layup conversion. Her field goal percentage has improved to 44%, but this remains below optimal levels for a player with her physical attributes. Comparison to Boston's 54% efficiency highlights the gap that exists for both players to reach their potential dominance.
The 23-year-old brings an unmatched excitement factor every time she's on the court. Paige Beckers was number 2. Aaliyah Boston was number 3. And earlier in the season, I probably would have been fully on board with this. You know, through about the first 10 games of the year, 12 games of the year, I thought she was maybe in the top 3 or 4 MVP contenders. But she had a good game. She's had a couple.
Sonia Centron received recognition following her emergence during Paige Becker's injury absence, generating legitimate Rookie of the Year discussions. Another notable inclusion was Michaela Timpson at number 24, averaging 2.7 points and 2.1 rebounds per game. However, limited playing time of just 3.5 minutes over the last 2 games combined suggests coaching staff trust issues despite acknowledged defensive weaknesses. The team's offensive stagnation and slow pace represent significant concerns. The methodical approach appears intentional from coaching staff, creating frustration among observers who prefer up-tempo basketball styles.
But she had a good game. She's had a couple of good games as of late. My big issue with Aaliyah Boston is I'd like to see her be much more aggressive on the court. She's big. She's 6'5", but sometimes she feels like she plays real slow. And Aaliyah Boston and Camila Cardoso both have the same problem. Both should be dominant on their teams. I mean, dominant. Can you play pissed off?
This pacing philosophy conflicts with maximizing the roster's athletic potential and entertainment value. Current playoff projections show the Indiana Fever facing the Atlanta Dream in the first round if the season ended today. This matchup appears favorable compared to alternatives like facing the Las Vegas Aces or New York Liberty. The Aces have surged to the 2nd seed position, winning their last 10 games and potentially 12-13 consecutive contests. Meanwhile, the Seattle Storm appears aged and vulnerable despite their playoff position.
Dominant on their teams. I mean, dominant. Can you play pissed off? Can you be aggressive? You should be a demon on defense. You know, I mean, and look, Aaliyah Boston and that one right there, Angel Reese have the same problem, missing too damn many layups. And frankly, Angel's hitting more layups, I think, than Aaliyah Boston in the last, probably the last 20 games.
The Liberty currently holds the 5th seed, which seems surprisingly low given their talent level. Their potential first-round opponent would be the Phoenix Mercury, featuring veteran Diana Taurasi, though this series appears lopsided in favor of New York. The Minnesota Lynx face the Golden State Valkyries, with the latter team's coaching staff earning praise for remarkable season achievements. Updated standings following recent victories show Indiana Fever alone in 6th place, not tied with other teams. The Valkyries occupy 8th position while the Sparks have declined and the Mystics have fallen significantly.
They did in this one where they just get dominated by the Fever. I mean, when you're suiting up Neko Gumake and Skylar Diggins and Gabby Williams, and you trade for Brittany Sykes, you expect better results than Seattle got. But on the flip side of that is the way that the Fever played, unselfish, and the stars showed out. Because even with everybody that's been in and out of the lineup, those core players are still there. Meaning Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Lexi Hull. And Lexi Hull is tough as nails. She took a shot.
The Dream presents a formidable opponent at 25-14 overall with a 7-3 record in their last 10 games, demonstrating current hot streaks. 5 games remain in the regular season with uncertainty surrounding Clark's return timeline. Initial expectations suggested potential availability for upcoming games, but no confirmation has emerged. Attention now focuses on Tuesday's Mercury matchup or the subsequent Chicago Sky contest for possible comeback scenarios. Clark's #1 ranking among players under 25 seems justified when considering league-wide talent.
A headbutt, had to leave. The hope was it wasn't a concussion. Obviously, it wasn't. She comes back in, steps into a 3 confidently, knocks it down. Everybody's pumped, including Stephanie White. Look at that Caitlin Clark shirt she's got on. There's Caitlin pumped. Remember when I see Chloe Bibby in the background there too. Remember when some random fans were upset about the Kelsey Mitchell MVP shirts? Now everybody's wearing the Caitlin shirts. You know what, it was amusing to me, the complaining online about the team not posting.
3 players arguably represent the WNBA's elite tier: Nafisa Collier, Ajah Wilson, and Caitlin Clark, with order depending on evaluation criteria. From a popularity standpoint, Clark holds commanding advantages, though the league traditionally prioritizes performance over fan appeal, potentially contributing to ongoing profitability challenges throughout WNBA history. The rankings reflect both individual excellence and organizational development, with Indiana Fever's multiple representatives demonstrating successful talent acquisition. However, coaching decisions and strategic approaches will ultimately determine playoff success regardless of individual accolades. The combination of youth and experience across the roster provides optimism, but execution during crucial moments will define the team's championship potential moving forward.
You know what, it was amusing to me, the complaining online about the team not posting Caitlin enough or whatever, which is just the mind-boggling to me. Who's actually keeping track of that? And then you get this, the whole Caitlin Clark basically night. Caitlin was here and all the new logo shirts on display. Unfortunately, Caitlin couldn't play in this game, but we'll get to that in just a second, because seeing those shirts on display and everything was definitely a cool moment and a cool vibe for the game and for the team. But I mentioned
Indiana secured a crucial victory against Seattle, delivering an emphatic statement win that energized the entire organization. This triumph represents the culmination of what turned out to be an exceptional day for the franchise across multiple fronts. Looking back at recent contests against Minnesota, the performances weren't disappointing despite the outcomes. The squad competed admirably against a Lynx organization that ranks among the elite by various statistical measures. Their net efficiency ratings demonstrate historically impressive levels this campaign.
For the team. But I mentioned Lexi Hull, her toughness on display. Then you get Kelsey Mitchell, who's just been brilliant all season long. She became the franchise's single season scoring leader in this one. This wasn't her most impressive play of the game. I thought actually Kelsey made some really nice passes and playmaking displays in this game, but you got to show the historic bucket, which happened early. And Kelsey with those hesitation dribbles that she's put on, I mean, that's just an open 3 that she can. But nonetheless, congratulations to Kelsey Mitchell,
Although Fee Collier only participated in one of those 2 matchups, Indiana remained competitive against superior opposition, which deserved more recognition considering the caliber of competition faced. Then came this dominant display against Seattle. The Storm organization appears to be experiencing internal difficulties, with head coach Noah Quinn potentially facing scrutiny, despite having promising young talent like Malonga and veteran pieces including Neo Goumet, Skylar Diggins, Gabby Williams, plus the newly acquired Brittany Sykes. Seattle failed to deliver when playoff positioning hung in the balance. Their lackluster showing against Indiana raised serious questions about their execution and preparation.
Nonetheless, congratulations to Kelsey Mitchell, who's been brilliant all season long. Then Aaliyah Boston was a beast in this one too. She really asserted herself, didn't have to deal with that front line that she had to deal with in Minnesota, and just that overall length and talent that Minnesota has that can be overwhelming. Seattle a little bit more disjointed, and good feed by Howard, by the way, there too, who also played well. A lot of players played well in this game, but the other core players who are still going to be there and still are there.
From Indiana's perspective, the performance showcased unselfish basketball with star players stepping up when needed. Despite various lineup changes throughout the season, the core foundation remains intact. Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Lexi Hull continue providing stability and leadership. Hull demonstrated remarkable resilience during the contest. After absorbing a significant blow to the head that forced her temporary departure, she returned and immediately connected on a confident three-point attempt. The crowd erupted, including Coach Stephanie White, who sported one of the special Caitlin Clark commemorative shirts.
But the other core players who are still going to be there and still are there, and I think that's important, were really, really good in this one. Really, really good. Lexi Hull doesn't need to score a ton to make her presence felt, of course. Kelsey Mitchell is a scorer, but she distributed in this one too, not to the tune of a bunch of assists, but I thought she moved the ball well and did her normal bucket getting. Aaliyah Boston, just an overall really good performance, strong on the boards, strong in every facet of the game. Odyssey Sims chipped in with some scoring.
Clark herself appeared enthusiastic from the sidelines, with Chloe B visible in the background celebrating. This scene contrasted sharply with earlier criticism when some supporters complained about Kelsey Mitchell MVP merchandise. Now the entire arena embraced the Clark-themed apparel. The previous online complaints about insufficient social media coverage of Clark seemed particularly absurd given the elaborate celebration honoring her contributions. The evening featured extensive display of new logo merchandise and Clark-themed items, creating an electric atmosphere despite her unavailability to compete.
The game. Odyssey Sims chipped in with some scoring that was definitely needed, and I thought Ariel Powers did well in her minutes as well. Even Bree Turner, who's not exactly reliable as a finisher or scorer, but gives good hustle minutes and good defense. But why is it so big? Well, I mean, this playoff discussion, the Fever moved back into sixth. They beat a team that's in the mix with them. And a win like that against an opponent like that, it's getting, the odds are.
The visual presentation and fan engagement generated significant excitement throughout the venue. Hull's toughness became a defining storyline, but Mitchell provided the historical moment of the evening. She officially became the franchise's single-season scoring record holder with an early basket. While this particular shot wasn't her most spectacular of the night, Mitchell actually impressed more with her passing and court vision throughout the contest. Mitchell's signature hesitation moves created space for an open three-pointer that she converted effortlessly.
Getting, the odds are just going into their favor. I mean, they got the Sparks up next. We'll see what happens with the Sparks and the Mercury, but you basically win that and it's over with. And the same with the Valkyries game after that. Like the destiny's right in front of them, but the Fever don't really have to win too many more games before the season is over. And a win like this also, takes that desperation back a little bit and buys Caitlin Clark a little bit more time. Because before the game, Stephanie White did talk about Caitlin Clark, and I thought
her season-long brilliance finally received proper recognition with this milestone achievement. Beyond the scoring record, her playmaking abilities were on full display, demonstrating growth in areas beyond her traditional strengths. Boston dominated the interior against Seattle's disorganized front court. Without Minnesota's overwhelming length and athleticism to contend with, she asserted herself aggressively on both ends. Her performance highlighted how matchup-dependent her effectiveness can be, thriving against opponents who lack the personnel to contain her physical presence.